The Uncommon Student Award Program is an opportunity for Iowa high school students. Typically they start the program in their junior year via an application selection process. And it's an opportunity for them to participate in a scholarship to help further their education, trade school, or other opportunities post-high school. It's a program that the foundation trustees designed based on Herbert Hoover's legacy.
My name is Leslie Hoover Lobel, and Herbert Hoover and Lou Henry Hoover were my great-grandparents. Dad, much like his grandfather, seemed to have a knack for recognizing what I would call a spark in an individual. And some of these students, some of them are extremely smart, and it shows in their scholastic work, but others are students who think out of the box. And their ideas are not any less than the ones who are AP students, but they don't get as much of a chance. So I think Dad realized that these students would get a chance if we established a program where the grades were not the typical determining factor of what they were doing. So the fact that they could do something hands-on, I think, really encouraged Dad to support these students because of what they were doing.
The students have to provide letters of recommendation to support and give extra information about the student, but the program itself is uncommon.
I presented a program based on the Uncommon Man speech for high school people at the trustee meeting. And I would say the response was very cool. And I was a bit dejected as I left the meeting. But then Pete came to me on the sidewalk outside the Hoover Library Museum, and out of his billfold he pulled a tattered, worn copy of the Uncommon Man speech, which he said he'd carried for his lifetime. I knew then that we had a supporter, and his influence was manyfold, but what's most important is that he and Meredith came in those early years, and their support of this program is why it exists today, and can't thank the Hoover family enough for their support.
I think he'd be extremely pleased if Dad was still alive to see these students now. He wore so many hats, but I think the one thing he really enjoyed about the USA program were the students and the youth, and the potential he could see in what these young people are doing. And it's also kind of hopeful for me when I see young people who are doing something positive. It's reassuring for someone like me in my age at this point to say, okay, there's hope out there because you guys are coming up and you want to make a change in the world.
It's the future of the Hoover Library Museum. It's been almost 100 years since President Hoover was elected. Over 100 years since he did his world-recognized humanitarian work. But these are the people who are making his story relevant.
Part of the work that we're doing here at the foundation really is making sure that Iowans and beyond our borders know about the amazing story about Herbert Hoover, because it's really not just his Iowa roots here, it's not just the role he served America as president, but he was a global citizen, he cared about others, he was a great humanitarian, and his role and his spark should continue, and what better place than through young people who become part of this program, which really is his legacy.